Raturday Night is filmed in front of a live studio audience.
Thank you so much. What a lovely crowd we have here tonight. We have a great show planned for you. Welcome to Raturday Night, 9 o'clock Raturday Night, of course. The thing that we do every week and that happens every week, and that's normal. And that isn't just starting right now. We'll be having Viv Mouse on later to talk about its new album, Dream Eater, and the single off that album, which we will play for you in just a little bit here, the new single that's just dropped yesterday, called A Million Paperclips. So we have a fantastic show for you tonight. One thing I wanted to talk about right off the top, I've tried strawberry rolling papers for the first time. And they're fantastic. It feels like I've brushed my teeth with strawberry toothpaste. They sort of smell, and I thought they were going to just taste terrible. They smell a bit like fruit leather. We'll have Viv Mouse on in a little bit. But they smell like fruit leather, and so I was thinking, is packing my favorite strain of weed into the fruit roll-up, and I'm thinking, this is going to taste terrible. I hate fruit leather. It's one of my least favorite things. And strawberry fruit leather is the worst. Why don't I say leather a couple more times? It's famously one of the easiest words to say. Anyway, strawberry fruit leather, can't stand it. Tastes like seeds. Not my cup of tea. But I smoked it, and I was like, this doesn't taste like strawberries at all. And then I licked my teeth, and I was like, oh, there's some fucking strawberry in there. So, that's what strawberry rolling papers are like. I do want to say, if anyone is tuning in from Seattle, make sure you keep your volume low, close all the windows, shutter the blinds. We don't want you getting canceled. This is the one you were supposed to boycott. Don't tell anyone. I won't if you don't. Is that bitter? Am I bitter to talk like that? I don't know. I was thinking about it earlier. I was thinking, well, this is supposed to be the new... Can we even say the name of what this is supposed to be the new one of? But, you know, all I'm saying is be safe out there. I know Seattle's like that, too. You can't, you know. Plus, everyone lives in the same house, so if you're... Why does everyone in Seattle... You ever notice this? You go to Seattle and it's like, oh, yeah, everyone from Seattle I've ever heard about is living in this 2-bedroom apartment. It's nuts. I have no idea... The apartments I go to in Toronto are not like this, right? I go to a Toronto apartment, and it's a 3-bedroom with 3 people in it, which is very, very normal. Because that's how many people you're supposed to have in a 3-bedroom. But I go to Seattle. Really, it's only Seattle that's like this. Sometimes Chicago can be like this, but... You visit an apartment in Seattle and everyone you've ever met is there, and they're all beefing with each other from separate parts of the same 2-bedroom apartment, right? They've got the screens up, they've got one couch surrounded with like a curtain. New York is different though, because everyone in New York is doing something, right? You can't live in New York off disability checks. That's a little bit... Well, I mean, but it's true. New York is very expensive. Anyway... So Seattle, we're done talking about it actually, which is so fun for me. Hi Ruby, welcome to the show. This is Raturday Night, starring me, Ratty Vermin. So yeah, I've had my strawberry cone. I have a Dr. Pepper right here, and I have a list of questions. This is like a real ass show. I'm doing it, you know. I'm making it happen. Shall we bring Viv Mouse on? Let's bring Viv Mouse on. I'm going into Discord and I'm gonna select the Viv Mouse button. Whoop. Move to stream. Viv Mouse. Welcome to Raturday Night. Smash that mouse button first of all. That's a really good introduction. I'm happy that you're in the spirit of making like some great little jokes, some fun little ditties. Yeah, that's completely normal. I'm loving the shit that you're saying. Viv, let's talk about Dream Eater. Just tell me about it. Let's just start. Just tell me about Dream Eater.
And being very mentally ill, and
Yeah.
what else? Yeah, I mean, I wrote a lot of things.
So
The average song length on this album is over 5 minutes because I'm like that.
can I do you? Can I ask you a terrible favor real quick?
Yes, of course.
Can you start from the top? Fucking no one can hear that because I'm stupid. I forgot to
Oh,
unmute something.
oh, you didn't unmute me.
I'm sorry.
Um, no, it's okay. Um, can everybody hear me now?
Yeah,
Am I good to go?
yeah. I think we're good now.
Oh
We got some
shit.
exclamation points in chat.
Oh shit. Elsa's here. Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah! Welcome to
Um.
Elsa.
Anyway.
So let's start the time warp. I'll start the. I'll do
Yeah.
the fucking intro again. Hold on. Uh.
Raturday Night is filmed in front of a live studio audience.
Dude, we're cheating. Alright, the show just started. Fucking Viv, tell us about Dream Eater.
So Dream Eater is an LP that I'm coming out with on Friday the 13th of August, which is about sort of reflecting on the last couple years about the beginning of transition for me and for beginning of pandemic and figuring my shit out and not having any of my shit together and being very mentally ill and um a lot of the songs kind of attack that from different angles or attack different shit that I went through that I continue to go through, but I've processed it sort of now. Um, and also the average song length on this album is like over 5 minutes because I am like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I've noticed this with. Wow, really shouldn't have had Dr. Pepper because now I'm burping.
oh no.
I've noticed this with like. Damn, I'm realizing right now that I'm not going to be able to say anything meaningful about music this entire time. Um,
That's cool.
1. All right, sorry folks, we had some fucking technical difficulties. I want to talk about the mouse thing. So is this a stereotype that like do you find that a lot of mice are into cheese? Let's talk about this. We started talking about cheese and crackers in the chat, and I'm actually quite curious.
So like I really enjoy cheese, but I have a lot of like GI issues. So like I really shouldn't eat it because it like triggers my tummy problems.
I mean,
But I like it a lot. I don't know if it's a stereotype or not. I mean, it's probably a stereotype.
well, definitely, like mouse and cheese is like a whole thing, right? And I mean, you think about like the contexts in which like cheese comes up for a mouse, and it's not great, right? You think about
Yeah, I
mouse
mean,
traps and that
it's
kind of thing.
weaponized, you know?
Yeah.
It's...
and so from that, I sort of think about like well, it must not be that good for mice if it's, you know.
I mean, really, it's not really that good for any mammal, right? Because like lactose processing isn't super common. But like, I don't know, in moderation, it's probably fine, which is also true for humans. And can you tell my mom was a dietitian?
I didn't know that about you. How so?
I mean, that's just we need to everything in moderation is just the whole thing. It's literally that's just her thing.
So, can I ask, how did your mother being a dietitian affect your songwriting process?
Literally, not at all. But,
that's interesting.
I do have a good relationship with my mom. So that's she's not. I don't have any angry songs about my mom.
I mean, that's always for the best, right? I think you make angry songs about your mom, and you make angry songs about your dad, and it's very normal, right?
Yeah.
Everyone. Yeah.
No, yeah. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, everyone gets on this thing where they fucking, I hate my dad, and it's true because most dads are not great. But you start talking about how much you hate your mom, and you're like,
and then it's a red flag.
Yeah, you don't know, you're not entirely sure what that kind of person is. But yeah, no, I'm really glad that you have a good relationship with your mother. I would think that like having my mom was like an office worker for the longest time, and then she retired from that because she got married and she got pregnant. She had a kid, which was me, and then my mom was before that she was a detective, but she made no money, so whatever. And then she was a daycare worker, and I that gave me such a complex about babies. I get so scared. Do you ever get scared holding a baby?
I've never held a baby.
You've never held a baby? Not
a recent memory.
Chat, can we get a quick rundown? Can you just put 1 or 2 or like your favorite number in chat if you've ever held a baby? Put the number of babies you've held in chat.
I'm gonna start with a nice little 0.
I've held at least 2 or 3. I think I'm at a 3. I've held a baby once, and I felt anxious the whole time. So
yeah,
maybe this is just normal. Can we get, for the people who have held babies, can we get like a number between 1 and 10 for your anxiety level when you were holding the baby? The thing with me is I get guilty feelings holding a baby,
Interesting.
I'm like, I'm holding the baby wrong, and I'm gonna kill it, and it's gonna be like so my fault. And I mean, guilt and anxiety are very close emotions, which is something, maybe, is this something that Dream Eater talks about, do you think? Or am I, like, way off base here?
I wouldn't say it intentionally. It's not like, well, I guess there's a lot about anxiety. I wouldn't say there's terribly much, like, explicitly about guilt, but it's also something that I do feel all the time about everything. But I managed to avoid talking about it, actually.
That's
funny.
Fascinating. I guess that's one of the things. Art is like that, where maybe people don't understand guilt, but there's a lot of it. Do you want to talk about some of your anxieties? Let's get it out on the table. Let's get like therapists.
Let's analyze.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I mean, most of my anxiety is just like shit about being accepted or whatever. Like the shit that everybody
Mhm.
feels, you know. Like,
Mhm.
are people gonna like me? Are people gonna want me around? But also I get a lot of anxiety around like wanting to please people and wanting to make their problems go away and wanting to make my own problems go away and they don't go away and I don't know. I struggle with coping with things instead of, needing them to go away.
Mhm.
Um but I don't know. I can't really like off the top of my head like dissect myself like that.
Mhm.
Um
I guess that's true. I
it's
probably
hard.
should have re-listened to the whole thing. But I forgot to do that. I like had
It's
planned
okay.
to, and then it was Friday, and I was like, I can't do it today. Um,
It's chill.
but I have heard the whole thing. It is like this really beautiful, and all the way through, it's got this very consistent, like, very. I would call it melancholy. Maybe you would use a different word, but it's got a very melancholy and sort of anxious tone, um, where you almost feel like it's creeping up behind you, and I love that. Um,
Mm-hmm.
we talked about in our pre-interview, you like to like incorporate things from music that makes you happy, which is it strikes me as so dissident from sort of what I just described and what I heard. Can you talk about that?
So like a lot of the joy that I get from music, like a lot of my sort of motivation to listen to it, comes from shit that doesn't really have to do with like the lyrics or like even I guess I don't know. I enjoy a lot of music that does sound melancholy or sort of brooding or just like has a lot of feelings that it wants to get out.
Mm-hmm.
Um I guess I use music to sort of process things and then processing things once they're processed makes me happy. Um
Can you
but
talk?
also like sorry?
No, go ahead.
I mean just like also music that is like interesting in terms of just like chord
Mm-hmm.
progressions and shit. Like a lot of those are weird and sad and like I don't know, pretentious jazz shit. But like it makes me happy to listen to it, even if
Mm-hmm.
it's not like meant to make the listener happy.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if you could talk about some of those artists that like do that for you.
So
Either take those chord progressions from or just that are themselves melancholy but that make you happy.
I guess a good example that I'm thinking of off the top of my head is uh Bachelor, which is a collab between the front person from JSOM and the front person from Palehound.
Mm-hmm.
And they a lot of their music is really like slow and like I don't know how to describe it. It's very like it feels like almost like you took the tape and slowed it down, but it's very like melancholy in that kind of way. But
Mm-hmm.
like a lot of the shit that they talk about is just like I don't know. It's like well, I guess I'm doing a poor job of being interviewed. I'm
No, it's
not, I don't it's it's hard for me to describe exactly what makes a thing make me happy. Um, but just like the way that they seem to play off each other when they record as a collab, like as a collaboration. When they write, it sounds like they really work well with each other as people, and hearing them like make shit that they both seem to find joy in makes me happy. I guess that's more what I mean. That like
mm-hmm.
it doesn't really matter what the music even sounds like if I like it anyway, that
Mm-hmm.
it's like if it sounds like the people writing it like had fun or got a lot out of it, I will tend to enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. Can I throw you a little bit of a curveball? I'm like, this is
Yes,
something
please
that
throw me a
popped into
curveball.
my head and I was very curious about.
Yes.
What's the first song that you remember listening to?
Um, I think it would be "In My Life" by the Beatles from Rubber Soul. Um,
Fascinating.
because it's something that my mom had like she had a CD of Rubber Soul that she
Mm-hmm.
played in the car when I was really little.
That's that's like that's incredibly fascinating to me. I remember um that like moms have such fucking good taste in music too as part of it. Actually, well, maybe I should ask, how do you feel about the Beatles?
I like some of their stuff. I dislike some of their stuff. I don't know. It's like it's more of a nostalgia thing for me. I was really
Mm-hmm.
into them in high school because I was really, in general, really into like classic rock, dad rock in high school, which
Mm-hmm.
makes me a bad person, I think.
No, I'm sure that's fine.
um, but yeah, I don't know. It was yeah, it's more just the nostalgia. I don't like any of them as people.
No, yeah. I mean, I don't think any. I think this is a very
I don't
normal
think
thing to
they're
feel
supposed
about the
to.
Beatles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Um, that's interesting that like high school was when you got back to the Beatles. Hmm.
I was just a classic rock kid like until college.
What happened in college?
In college, I just hung out around a bunch of music nerds, and they, I just like they have their own like emo and
Mm-hmm.
shit music taste. And we were sort of peripheral to the like DIY music scene in Atlanta, which was kind of cool, but also like every DIY musician in Atlanta is an asshole. So like,
Hmm.
and they all hated us, which is really funny.
Why were you hated? Let's talk about this.
Just because we were associated with the college,
Oh, I see.
but we weren't really associated super strongly. We just like had a venue on campus,
Mm-hmm.
but otherwise the college also hated us. So like we we were just we were just super like
Nobody
in the
likes you
middle.
when you're
Yeah,
23. That's the only
I,
music reference I can make. Um,
good. Anyway, I want to answer who this question.
Hoot Wheels.
I
Hold
I
on.
have a yeah
Well,
question that song that blew my mind that
yeah.
wasn't
First,
dad rock. Um, that's a really difficult like memory to unlock. Actually, I don't like.
does Simon and Garfunkel count as dad rock?
Yeah, Simon and Garfunkel is super dad rock,
Okay.
but also I like really enjoy them. Um,
Can I may I'll give you time to answer or come up with your answer while
mm-hmm.
I relay my own answer, which is that I actually don't have one because Simon and Garfunkel is dad rock, so never mind.
It's so
Don't worry
funny.
about it. But Bridge Over Troubled
Uh,
Water is good.
it's such a good song.
Mm-hmm.
Also the entirety of Bookends is fucking fantastic.
Absolutely.
Um,
I mean, there are some of these that are like quote unquote dad rock. I associate Simon and Garfunkel with my mom because they were my
yeah, I
mom's
mean,
favorite.
yeah.
But
Shit, I'm trying.
some
How
some of them some of them stood the test of time because they were just fucking good. You okay?
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of of an answer because like I remember listening to a lot of I think I think my answer which is basic in a different way is Love of Mine by Nickel Creek um where the lyrics are really cool and also the chord progression is fucking sick but it's like bluegrass but like the one of the people is a guy named Chris Thiele who's a virtuosic mandolin player. Like he's ridiculously good at the instrument, and like it's really cool to hear like his like flourishes and shit, but also just like how complicated the arrangements are for a genre that sounds like it should be kind of simple and folky. It's really cool. Um, I think you might be able to play it for like a second. Um, I will send you a link. Yeah. Yeah. Mine never went away, but also like here, I'm just gonna post a link in the fucking Twitch chat and y'all can listen to it. Um, nobody tell Jeff. It's like really like melancholy and pretty in the way that I really like too, because I have one mode. That's not really true, but it's just like this is such like nerd music for me to enjoy. But also like it's such a good song, right? Like I'm glad somebody. Oh my god, I'm huge. Why am I so close to the camera? I hate that. Why have you made me so big? Okay, thank you. Thank you for making me.
Love of mine, when you're born, I tell myself that you'll never die. And I throw my arms around the girl who finds you, 'cause the world is rosier.
Write down, and we can kind of talk over it a little bit. Viv Mouse,
Yes.
can you tell me more about this mandolin progression?
So it's pretty, it kind of travels in this weird circle where I have to listen to it now. Also, I don't want to be listening to the Twitch stream because having the sounds twice bugs me. Or having our voices twice. But just like in the what I guess is the chorus, or like leading into the chorus, there's a really cool like I have to listen to figure out what exactly it is. It's just like some like are we muted? Are we on?
No, we're on.
it's some like one to flat two minor to something that like leaves the third in place but shifts the other two notes up, and it's I use that a lot actually, and it's really fucking cool.
Does that show up in Dream Eater?
Does it show up in Dream Eater? It definitely at least shows up on No Reflection, that has a big piano part. Oh no, it shows up on the title track too as part of the like chord loop that, and it does like another one of those right before it too, where it's like two of those chained together, and it's really cool. I think I'm really proud of it.
Hell yeah! That's off which track? Sorry.
That's off the title track, Dream Eater, off Dream Eater.
Well, you'll have to listen for the Nickel Creek inspiration in the title track of Dream Eater.
That's also the song that I did that stream of consciousness poetry thing. That's the two of the three sort of sections of the title track, which is a very long song, and I have no regrets.
No, yeah. I mean, this is the thing you were talking about. Your songs are very long. Not like excessively long, but like, you certainly aren't shy about the length, and I kind of like that. I think about like what do I think about? I think about not necessarily even accessibility, but like you're very much like curating an audience with that, right? You're sort of really thinking about the kind of people that you want to have involved in this project, or not in this you know what I mean.
I mean it's I'm not even sure if that's what I'm thinking about, right? It's mostly just I really just like to take a theme or an idea and just like run with it for as like until it dies. I did that on a bunch of previous stuff as well. on my Bandcamp, She Bet a Dragon, which is a pretty old song that I put out like well over a year ago now, which is also very long and really just kind of takes a couple themes and just like fucks around with them for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a lot of my. So I listened to a lot of like prog rock and shit also during my dad rock days, and I listen to a lot of Car Seat Headrest now, and they also put out fucking 16-minute songs on the regular. So that's I enjoy just like taking a thing and just like seeing it and just taking it until it stops being fun to write, and then
I mean,
that's where you're done.
that's that sort of stream of consciousness thing coming back again. Is there something special about just sort of getting it all out, and not to say one burst, but one continuous kind of thought that appeals to you more than like, I don't know, I'm not sure what's like traditional music making, but
Yeah, I mean, I feel like traditionally it's more like you go in with sort of an outline, right? I'm not actually I'm really not sure how traditionally music is made, but like I have to imagine that you go in with like here's the amount of time that someone will be likely to want to listen to the song. Oh shit, we moved.
Yeah, it's
here's the amount of
subspaces like that.
Oh yeah, cool. I don't think I've ever experienced that before. Anyway, like yeah, like this is the amount of time that people will want to spend before they get disinterested, and this is the amount of content that we can put in there, and we can do X number of things before they stop being noticeable. And I'm just like much more fluid about my process, I guess.
I think that's something, and this is a completely dead horse at this point, but that is something that gets talked about a lot with sort of the formalization of music. And you think about Kanye West. How do you feel about Kanye West? Let's not get into that.
I like him.
Actually.
No,
Oh, you like him?
I like it. It's good.
Kanye West was probably a pretty bad pull for that because he is like an artist. So
yeah,
never mind. We have here a clip actually from last week's poetry night. I wonder if you would be okay with me playing your reading of Dream Eater, or the vocals from Dream Eater from our poetry night last Saturday.
Yeah, you can do that.
Are you sure? You sound a little unsure.
Well, yeah, I think that would be a good idea.
Hell yeah.
Oh, wait, first, Jimmy has a question. I have a lot of inspirations for this song in particular. It is unabashedly really heavily inspired by Car Seat Headrest. And just like that like stinky like indie rock sound that I enjoy a lot by a bunch of different people. But it was very very Car Seat Headrest, and the lyrics are inspired by I saved a demo as Something Clippy This Way Comes and sent it to my friend, and she immediately sent me back a picture of Clippy from Microsoft Word, who became the subject of the song like immediately.
Well, this is a different song. You were talking a second ago about sort of that stream of consciousness writing process, and I wanted to give a little example. This is from the title track, right? This poetry that you read last week. Stag has asked, can Viv do a backflip? And I will answer that on Viv's behalf while we listen to this recording.
Hi, it's been do I sound okay? Am I cool? Okay. Should I set up the VST? Should I get should I get crunchy, or should I just do regular voice? I'm thinking about regular voice.
You can get crunchy. I don't was talking earlier about like doing a time limit, but there's only 5 people in mine, so I'm like, get crunchy. Fuck it. Take that little extra time.
I'm gonna take a second to get crunchy. Well, I have the crunch set up also. I'm gonna be doing a Stream of consciousness.
You can skip past this
pair of things that I
commentary.
wrote.
Yeah, I was thinking. I was like doing the funny bit where I was like holding down the rotation button, and I was thinking,
Oh.
I don't want to stop doing that.
And it's. I'm excited.
Oh yeah.
I don't
All
need
right,
to be crunchy.
here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is.
Yeah, I also used to go to a ton of these in college. Or they were
Oh God,
mostly,
you're still
like, oriented
explaining.
toward come into the keyboard. God.
I sort of expected just.
That's me though. I'm the explainer. Thing.
I don't stop talking.
An extra Dream Eater, except without the music.
Both of us are
Yeah.
such
And I wish
fucking
it wasn't real, 'cause
chatterboxes.
they're closed. Scenes on, and my head is
Put it
empty.
away.
Yeah.
Put me back.
My eyes are shining and my head is empty. I had a dream and I wish it wasn't real. Familiar scenes on a green screen projected on the inside of my skull. My eyes are closed. I'm dreaming and my eyes are closed, but I'm awake. I'm so awake. I'm so very awake. This is the place I visit when I am nowhere, when I am nothing, when I'm collapsing down to a point. When I have nowhere else to go, I go there. When I have nothing, I have that. I have the space of dreams and visions and nightmares, and when I have no other home, that is my home. In the hole where the optic nerve leads to the brain, where Charon drags images from my eyes down into my throat where they got discarded, and the creature on the surface makes up its own TV shows and radio plays and fantasies, oblivious to the world. And trying to decide if I should do the other one. Yeah, I will. I see visions and dreams. The nightmares are the ones we wake up to, where we have less control than in our lucid dreams. They leave us exhausted. Our circumstances speak for themselves. Our bodies speak for themselves. I feel so gross writing poetry to be spoken over music because I'm proving that my music does not speak for itself. I can only speak on top of it, my words falling like oil leaking from a car onto a wet road. I want to set these words aflame and watch them burn and disperse, but I don't have the ability. I don't trust my voice to speak for me. I don't trust my words to be spoken. I don't trust my melodies to carry my words. My voice is wrong. No matter how much I work on it, it'll never sound how I want to sound. My vocal cords are wrong. I try to sing, but I succumb to the inevitability that it'll never sound right. I delete the recording. I close the Logic file. I go to bed. And in my dreams, my larynx lets me sound how I should. In my dreams, I'm empowered to speak for myself. I don't have to jump through any hoops. It's just there. It's just right by default. I look how I should. I sound how I should. It's easy and it's natural and I don't have to work for it. It's normal and I don't have to put effort into how I sound because it's normal. I'm normal and I'm happy and I know I'm dreaming because I'm happy and I'm normal. It's not fake. It's the truth, but only then. Only then and only forever because I don't have to wake up. I don't have to wake up. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to take melatonin before I go to bed. I'm always tired enough to sleep. It's never hard. My body knows what it wants. I close the Logic file. The music keeps playing. I'm in a high school bathroom. I try to fit on the toilet. It's a weird shape, and I piss, but when I'm done, I still have to piss. Oh, I think to myself, and everyone can hear it. I must be dreaming. So with effort, I wake myself up so I don't wet the bed and fumble my way to the bathroom in the dark. Normal. Normal. This is normal. This is a recurring dream. This is a recurring dream, and there's something wrong with me. But when I'm asleep, I'm normal. When I'm dreaming, I can be normal. I don't have to wake up. That's my edge.
So, I want to say the sort of dreamlike quality of this is very real. Like, I have no doubt in my mind that this is at least like somewhat of a real thing for you. Do you want to talk about that? Is this a real dream?
The dream where I'm stuck in the bathroom is a real recurring dream for me. It's really funny usually. Like it's unsettling for sure, but it's like
Well, this is something we talked about, is that it's a little bit funny, and I think that's more of that sort of taking those things that make you happy, not happy, but you know, giddy or whatever, and making something very scary and melancholy with it. I think that's so interesting.
Yeah. And like in the face of it, still joking about it. That particular bit about the piss dream, I was sort of inspired to include it by a lot of the shit that Ivy Ruth does, which is really funny. Um, but yeah, I don't know. It's a real dream. The first half of that, or the first fucking quarter of it, in terms of how long it is, was the first thing that I wrote for this album, actually, or one of the first things, where I just like wrote fucking slam poetry. And on the album, that part is like it's in the same quality as like 100 Gex vocals. Like it's very like crunchy hyper poppy, and then the rest of it is normal sounding. Um, I wanted to I wanted it to hit more of a panic attack sounding climax. Um, than it's in a spot on the album where it feels like the rest of the album is building up to it. Um, Manifesto slaps. I don't really have any other feelings about Ivy Wraith, but Manifesto fuck, and it's a good. Oh no.
You know, this is a messy show, right? This is we're in like a experimental digital space between reality and fiction. I'm not worried about sometimes my audio cuts out, right?
Yeah, I mean, we're doing what we can.
We're putting a little bit of effort into staying alive here, folks.
Yeah.
Sometimes the audio is gonna. Yeah. We live in the fucking Matrix, exactly.
Fuck yeah, we do.
Stag, I hope that answered your question. Viv can absolutely do a fucking backflip.
I do have a distinct memory of on my front lawn as a kid. This is a tangent. Doing a front flip, but only getting 3/4 of the way around and landing on my back.
Oh, that hurts.
But the Arch Linux. I to answer one of your other questions, Stag, I cannot skate. I have never tried, and I'm too much of a weenie to try. I mean, I want to try at some point, but like it's I don't know. I'm a weenie and I'm not coordinated.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Don't worry about that. That's just happening. What's your earliest memory of a trampoline?
My family never had one because our backyard was on a slope.
Mm.
But I had a friend who had one, and all my memories really involve. It was one of the ones with like the net around the side, and all my memories of trampolines involve like dragging my hand around the side and going around in a circle, and then just like poking my friends to shock them. But I don't know. I don't have any super interesting fucking trampoline memories.
You don't you don't have like some important trampolines in your backstory? What are the symbols of you? Let's talk about this. Let's get deep.
Okay.
What are the symbols that persist in your life? What keeps coming up?
What does keep coming up? That's really hard. I mean,
Less a symbol and more sort of a theme is just like wanting to
be in control of things,
Mm-hmm.
and or being in control of myself and how my own life is going.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if there's a particular symbol. Maybe no, that's not true. I feel pretty strongly, like in a spiritual sense, about things like sunrises and just anything that causes you to feel like awe or like feel like inspired by.
Have you ever been up the mountains in Vancouver?
No.
Have you ever been up mountains at all?
I've only been down. I've only been up East Coast, like Appalachian Mountains, but those are really pretty too. Like I used to when we would drive up to New York to visit some family, we would always drive up through Western Virginia instead of taking 95, and those mountains through Virginia are really pretty. but yeah, I guess
Mountains
I
are,
do. I do love a mountain. I do want to check out like Rockies and
yeah.
Cascades and shit.
Mountains are pretty top tier, I would have to say. Mountains are like one of the cooler things. Glitch Sister in the chat asks, Viv, what's your favorite liminal space?
That's um, it's hard. I feel like my favorite liminal space at the moment is like an office building, like with the cubicles, but like when there's nobody else there. Like if you're the first person
Ooh,
in the office and the
yeah.
lights haven't come on yet,
Mm-hmm.
there's like a really like a placelessness that it feels. It's really it's spooky as hell. I love it.
Have you ever been in an underground office?
Not underground. I have been in plenty of offices, including the one where I work right now, which don't have windows.
Mm.
And
Oh God, you don't
there's
have windows?
not where my cubicle is.
Oh my God. I
Um,
hate, I can't stand windowless spaces.
I hate them, but also like there's something cool about them also. Like I don't like being in them for an extended
Whoa!
period. Oh my goodness. What happened?
Don't know. I got really tiny there for a second.
Oh no.
Yeah. I don't know. So does it feel like a windowless space when you're at your cubicle, or do you just like you know that there are windows somewhere, and so you're like, this is not that bad.
I mean, there's windows around the corner for me. It's just like where I'm at. I'm also like sort of tucked away in my own little corner, which is kind of nice. I don't know. I like being in smaller spaces usually. Like I can't be in buildings where the ceiling is too high and I look up and I get dizzy.
What's the threshold for you? Can you give me like an
Um,
estimate in feet?
maybe 40 or 50. Like the first place that comes to mind is like in like a warehouse or like a soundstage. And then like I super can't be in like or I can be in a space like that. Like I can be in like the atrium of a museum, but I can't look up. Because if I look up I get really scared.
That's interesting. What's like the root of that? I realize this is like a weird topic for a comedy program. Let's talk about the root of your fears.
Let's psychoanalyze Viv.
Yeah. But also,
on Raturday.
why are you scared of vaulted ceilings?
Because I don't know. I really don't know why. I think they give me a sense of scale that I don't know if I'm like it's just disorienting, I guess, to look at a place that you obviously can't go because it's fucking on the ceiling. Or like in stadiums and shit, like imagining like walking around on the catwalks. Like I'm just super afraid of heights, I think.
That's really interesting that's such like a persistent fear for you that you are afraid of heights from the ground. You know.
No, literally.
That's adorable. That's a little diminutive. Whatever. Who cares?
It's very mouse of me, I think.
Definitely. I feel like all the time when you're seeing mice, though, they're like up somewhere, right? Or when you're not seeing mice, rather. You think about a celebrity mouse, Remy from Ratatouille, which we all know is about mice and not rats.
Clearly.
That's what they do in Hollywood. They get stunt mice and they dye their fur like a slightly darker color because rats are they don't let rats in Hollywood. Anyway, you think about all the scenes where Remy's creeping around and he's in the ceiling and shit.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know why I brought that up. We were talking about you don't want to go on the ceiling, and I was thinking like, well, good news, you can't.
I mean, yeah, that's the real answer.
If gravity reversed, though, you would be in deep trouble. You'd have like the worst time.
I would have a pretty bad time if gravity flipped upside down.
I'm sure everyone. I mean, there would be like a lot of people missing. You know, because of the sky.
Oops.
This is John Tory's latest plan to fight homelessness, is we're just gonna turn gravity upside down, and
Oh,
anyone without a
no.
roof is gonna go into the sky.
Oh god.
Now,
Oh god.
I say this with the caveat that I don't like John Tory, and I think he's a spineless little coward, and I think he's the reason the world's about to end. But I mean, part of the reason, I mean, politicians roll over. It's what they do. But so fuck John Tory, basically. Who's your least favorite local politician?
I think it would have to be, at the moment, it would have to be our governor of Georgia, Brian Kemp, who has done all in his power to make voting in elections harder, and is continuing to do that. And was, before he was elected governor, the Secretary of State, and was in charge of the election that he was running in. And you can see where that goes. So
Fuck that guy. Don't vote for
fuck that
him.
guy. No, I mean, he's.
This is
I don't know,
this
he's
is a
Republican,
political
you
show
probably
now.
aren't gonna vote anyway. Anyway, let's. Yeah, I don't know. What are we?
Do you want to play? Okay. I want to play the first single off of Dream Eater, which is A Million Paper Clips. Before we do that, and we're gonna be closing out the show after that. Before we do that, I want you to tell me about this first single. Like, just this specifically, this first single, A Million Paper Clips. Tell us all about it.
Yes. So, I already mentioned the inspiration for the title, which is that, or the like subject matter of the lyrics, which is that I sent a demo without any lyrics because I hadn't written them yet to a friend, and she was I titled the demo "Something Clippy This Way Comes," and she immediately responded with just like a photo, like a picture of Clippy from Microsoft Word. So I wrote it about him and about like not like just like receiving unwanted help that like just sucks. And it was very. I wrote this just like I wanted to make something like write something like sort of lighthearted for the beginning of the album, or for toward the beginning. Like it's not necessarily chill, but it's a lot. It's like less serious than the rest of the album, pretty much.
The word that it makes me think of is like nice. I think of like a very nice person, or like a sort of like a just sort of a nice vibe. Like you go to someone's house and like you have a decent time, and there's sort of everything going on outside, but you know.
I can see that. Yeah.
Oasis, maybe. Speaking,
Yeah.
what's your favorite Oasis song? I like "Carry On, My Wayward Son."
I like that one also. I haven't listened to enough Oasis to have opinions.
That's definitely not Oasis.
Yeah,
do we
I
have any
know.
more questions before we let Viv go?
Yes, ask me things.
Gezro wants to know, what would you do if you were a little mouse trapped in a tiny box?
I guess that depends on the conditions in the box. Like I would probably try to gnaw my way out, depending. But
Okay.
also like if it's just like a box that's like cozy enough for me to just vibe in, I'd probably just like fall asleep in it. I don't know.
What's the next thing you want to get for music production, VSTs, pedals, etc.? That's from Hoop Wheels.
I really don't have much of anything at the moment. I have this little MIDI controller, like a little MIDI keyboard. It's only 2 octaves. I guess the next thing that I would want is a bigger keyboard, and I want to learn how to play piano. But like I use Logic Pro, and I'm pretty happy with all the inbuilt shit at the moment. Like I haven't used anything that I had to buy except for a sample pack that was free and open source. But I guess I would want a better keyboard. Maybe I'd want to get like I mean I want to fuck around with like Eurorack shit, but like that's not something that I really want to invest a lot of time or money into. So I think I would just say like maybe a larger keyboard, maybe a 4 or 5 octave thing.
Hell yeah. That's one of the things that I think, especially with like, you talked earlier about DIY musicians. We were going to play the single and then I completely forgot. We'll do it after this. we'll do a lightning round of all the final questions,
Yes.
and then
the single.
we'll do the single, and then Raturday night will be over for the night. I was talking about
We were talking about DIY music.
and the thing is like when you're like not even just starting out, but like trying to do something on a very strict budget, it's like even the most basic stuff is just like so much. It feels like so much extra.
Yeah, definitely.
I got a microphone stand about a month ago, and I was like, "Oh wow, wow!" And I realized now it was like $20, but still, lightning round question.
I did the same. Yeah, lightning round question. What is my favorite fruit from Cherry Stag? That's a difficult question. Actually, I think it's pears. I like pears.
Pears are.
I want to say bananas, but I'm definitely allergic to them, and I shouldn't be eating them.
This is you always love the things you can't have is part of it.
My favorite pizza place is this little fucking local place. I mean, it's not really local. It's local to my parents' place, but it's not. It's like a 45-minute drive from me. But it's like the only like New York pizza place that's like authentic. Like within like 200 something miles of me. It's very good. The guy who runs it is from New Jersey, and it's authentic.
Hell yeah.
Favorite cheese and wine. Cheese is Pecorino Romano because I grew up with it, and that's what my dad traditionally puts on pasta. He gets really angry if you ask him to put anything else on pasta. Because he's a very picky man. And wine, I don't drink, but I used to, and I really enjoyed like really dry red wines. Like I would really enjoy like a Malbec or like a Chianti.
Impeccable. I've got a Chianti in my drawer right now. Actually, it's under the counter. We can have a little bit later.
I don't really miss a lot. Favorite dog breed? I am against dog breeding in general. But I do live with my girlfriend's dog is a little like Jack Russell Chihuahua mix, and he's the cutest little thing. And he's like 10 pounds and full of anxiety, and I love him. So right now that's my favorite.
All right, we're going to give a couple more seconds in case there's one more lightning round question. And then we're going to listen to A Million Paper Clips, the first single off of the album Dream Eater. I'll put or Viv, you can put a link in the chat to where you can stream that right now.
I'm going to do that.
But you can also stream it right here. So fucking don't go anywhere. Raturday night will be closing out after this.
Microsoft Word companion, will you bind my thoughts together? Yes, I need help, but not from you. Anthropomorphic stationery, stop trying to put your hands on me. You're only gonna make it worse, you know it's true. Won't you leave me alone, leave me alone? Won't you leave me alone? I see visions and dreams of all the times I made mistakes. When I wake up, I know it's fake, but when I'm asleep, I feel the eyes of all the people in my life, always disappointed in me. Maybe I've asked for a little too much, and maybe I'll never find what I'm after. It's always just out of reach, and you're not helping. And in my wildest dreams I'm dead. I'm always trying so hard to fit it. I'm putting on mask after 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 mask. Won't you leave me alone? Leave me alone. After mask after mask after mask after. Won't you leave me alone? I see visions and dreams of all the times I've made mistakes. When I wake up, I know it's fake. But when I'm asleep, I feel the eyes of all the people in my life, always disappointed in me.
This is really bad decisions, like it's the correct, like that's the correct thing for her to do. Like this is making bad decisions. Like she's gonna make money off of them. Like this bitch is making bad decisions because she thinks they're funny and doesn't fucking know how to come up with the things that are going on in her life. Like this bitch is making bad decisions. Like her life fucking depends on it, but like the opposite way. But like her life depends on the same decisions that she's doing, the bad ones on purpose.
I gotta click so many buttons every time I do this shit. God damn. That was Million Paper Clips off of Dream Eater. Vivi Mouse's new album is out Friday the 13th in August, with singles dropping on July 30th and August 6th. You can follow its Twitter, Vivi2_ATL for more, or Vivi2_Mouse. We forgot to talk about, and maybe I can ask you right before you head out here. This is your first album with vocals on it. I remembered because Hoot pointed out in the chat, like, it's just some really cool vocals. What inspired that change?
I mean, I just wanted to say more heartfelt shit. Like my previous work was all just like, it almost sounded like soundtracks. Like it was very much, it was meant to be sort of like music for places, but not necessarily music for feelings or music for experiences. And this album is much more music for experiences and feelings that are easy to say in words. Also, Tom New York is such a fucking incredible band name. Like I love that.
Damn, someone steal that. Write that down, TM. It was on my show, so I get to keep it. Viv Mouse, thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
I'm gonna kick you out of the Discord right now.
Hell yeah.
There we go. That was, so one more time, that was we just got a lovely preview of both the title track on Dream Eater, which is fantastic, and I think Viv is an incredible writer. I'm really glad that it's like diving into vocals now, because I really appreciate Viv as a writer. Viv has helped me some of my own writing, and that's fantastic. Once again, Viv's new album is out Friday the 13th in August. Singles dropping on July 30th and August 6th. You can follow Vivi__ATL for more updates. That's Vivi__ and then like the shortened form for Atlanta, or Vivi_Mouse with 2 underscores, of course. That's Raturday night. I'll see y'all next time. Bye. Oh, come on.
Microsoft Word companion, will you bind my thoughts together? Yes, I need help, but not from you. Anthropomorphic stationary, stop trying to put your hands on me. You're only gonna make it worse, you know it's true. Won't you leave me alone, leave me alone? Won't you leave me alone? I see visions and dreams of all the times I made mistakes. When I wake up, I know it's fake, but when I'm asleep, I feel the eyes of all the people in my life, always disappointed in me. Maybe I've asked for a little too much, and maybe I'll never find what I'm after. It's always just out of reach, and you're not helping. And in my wildest dreams, I'm dead. I'm always trying so hard to fit it. I'm putting on mask after 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 mask. Won't you leave me alone? Leave me alone. After mask after mask after mask after. Won't you leave me alone? I see visions and dreams of all the times I've made mistakes. When I wake up, I know it's fake, but when I'm asleep, I feel